Max, as you know, every Friday here on DCTF Live, we have a special guest picker. We've had legitimate celebrities.
Yes.
Bun B at one point.
Yeah.
The Trilogy was our guest.
Yeah.
We've had noted authors like Jeff Pearlman.
That's true.
We've had people that we actually admire.
Yep.
For a change of pace, we will now welcome in our guest for this week from Fox Sports Southwest. You know her. You love her. It's my co-host on Fox Football Friday, powered by Dave Campbell.
What an intro.
Football.
I dig
Erin
it.
Hartigan.
I told him, y'all got to have at least one hot mess on the show per year, and I am meeting that quota today.
Every day.
I mean, we had Lana on a couple
Lana
weeks
was,
ago.
Oh, she was awesome.
She was pretty hot messy, but
that's true.
You have to work with me every Friday.
That's a great sports point.
So
thanks. By the way, thanks for the coffee.
Yes, I came bearing coffee because here's what I've learned. Greg is happy with coffee.
That's true.
Right? And so following yesterday, which we're not going to bring up here on the show.
What happened, Greg?
I don't know what you're talking about.
There wasn't a baseball game. Nothing happened in it. I felt like we needed to set the tone today. Like, and every what is it? Like 9:30 every Friday night. You know, they bring coffee, and I notice a significant difference in Greg when he has coffee in front of him. So, I also couldn't walk in with my own coffee and not bring it for you guys.
I want to point out for the record that I think
there is no record, but
right. But I mean for the Royal record.
Oh, the Royal record.
That this is like the first time she's consistently ever called me Greg. Like even when we first met and I actually hated you.
Oh my gosh, you guys! I'm
You're
doing it.
Doing
no,
it.
I'm doing it now without even realizing it.
Yeah, this is bad. Earlier you were doing it like as a bit, like hey
before
Gregory.
I was like, hey Greg, never knew your first name before, so now I'm gonna start calling you that.
Right.
But now I'm doing it and I don't even realize I'm doing it.
Sure.
Which is not. That's not okay.
I call you Hartigan. I'd say it's about 50-50 split.
Yeah, why do you call me Erin? No one calls it's like E or Hardy. Like
E.
that's kind of weird.
E? What are you, a rapper?
Bun E.
Bun
But
Bun
seriously.
E is wow. Okay.
Okay,
a lot going on there.
We've taken a tangent back to the coffee. I couldn't be rude, so
yes.
I had that. That's the real reason.
Sure.
Also, literally, I never get to just wear leggings and whatever else I want. I like that I can just chill.
And I want to ask you about that because you got your start in this business with Scout, correct?
Yes.
And so you were a recruiting nut. You're out there chasing the scoops and talking to players and stuff like that. And now you are a legitimate on-air personality.
Define legitimate.
Yeah, I mean,
what's legitimate mean?
Don't oversell
an
this.
on-air personality.
Okay,
better.
Please don't
All
oversell
right,
this.
Fair enough.
Has that transition? You've done it obviously for a while now, but was that transition difficult to go from being? I don't want to say being more of
learning how to do your hair and makeup.
Yeah,
yes, very difficult.
Yeah.
I'm still learning.
Oh God.
Oh no, party.
That's what happens when we bring coffee
here's
in.
here's
That's why we
the
can't
thing.
bring coffee.
I'm trying to be nice, and I bring but seriously, okay.
Spill it.
Hold on. This is why I needed to bring him my mug. Okay, I mentioned prior to the show that I was bringing them gifts.
It's like a souvenir T-shirt that we can use to clean up the coffee with.
Now I'm really wishing I would have brought
a
one of
little bit
Rick's
came out.
flannel shirts hanging on his cubicle that have been there since Lord knows when.
Sure.
But no, by bearing gifts, I mean I found things on my desk and decided to bring them.
Yes.
That's what we do.
Yeah, sure.
What do you think I'm getting my wife for
Probably a
Christmas?
good
I'm getting
thing.
her
Okay.
Vince Young.
I'm really upset that I didn't grab my New Orleans Pelicans mug. Now that I know
okay.
you're,
It's all
I had
right.
no idea.
okay.
When did that start? When did this whole
if you
New
were
Orleans
a regular
thing?
listener to the podcast, you would know.
Oh.
Well, I must
You
have
burnt.
missed. I must have missed all of those episodes that you mentioned.
Every
episode.
episode.
But now I'm really upset. It was a picture of Rick. It was a throwback of Rick or a Pelicans mug, and I should have grabbed. Well, I didn't grab either. But I had a mug sitting on my desk.
Yeah.
I had it made for me by a friend.
And you're giving it to me?
Well, and it says, because I have two of them.
Oh, okay.
She messed up on one, so I'm going to keep the messed up one. But it says, I woke up like this. And it's a joke because everyone knows I didn't wake up like this. This takes an army.
Right.
You know?
Thank you. But
it takes a lot of
I
work.
legitimately.
But
I'm
Greg,
such a train wreck that I legitimately woke up like this.
But see, that's the best part.
Yeah.
I'm at the offices this morning, and I'm leaving, and I'm like, oh, hey, this is going to be really funny. I'm going to give this to Greg. And everyone's like, oh, hey, you should put, I didn't wake. And I'm like, no. Greg actually
does.
You roll out of bed, and you come here
look at
as you woke up. So this is, real for
seriously,
you.
Seriously, this is, for you, you're talking about how you're very chill dressed right now and stuff like that. Like Max and I, this is par for the course for us. Like this is how we roll in every day.
It wouldn't be funny if I put you didn't wake up like that. It wouldn't be funny because
Thank you for this.
I mean, I guess it would because
it would be kind of funny.
Yeah,
but it's funnier now.
And then I brought you a pumpkin cream cheese muffin.
Whoa!
But now
wow,
by the look on his face, I'm thinking I should just eat that and bring the Pelicans mug. Okay. Done.
So back to
I'm not mad about it.
Back to the original question I had.
About football.
About the transition from going to I don't want to say that you're not grinding on what you're doing now, but you are out there pounding the pavement, doing a lot of the journalism dirty work, right? And now you are, in many respects, doing the glamour part of journalism, right?
Where
you're on
our
TV.
Friday nights.
Yes,
our Friday nights. We never get to see our coaching buddies anymore.
No.
Or I don't get to actually see these top prospects anymore in person. We get the highlights and. That doesn't do it.
Glamour is definitely the word I think of when I watch the Friday show.
Yeah.
Glamour.
Coach Purcell really brings the glamour.
The Anchorman-esque
I think his cowboy hat is Prada, right? Prada?
It is
cowboy hat?
George Strait-esque.
Coach, yeah.
Okay, I got a timeout. Tangent. Another tangent. I love tangents.
Sure.
How much do we resemble the cast of Anchorman?
Yeah, a little bit.
Veronica Corningstone, Brick Tamlin.
Brick, for sure.
And then Rick is obviously Ron Burgundy, and then Coach is Champ Kine. The only thing we're missing, if you join the show, you could be Brian Fantana.
I would love to be Brian Fantana.
You could the swoopy hair you've got going.
You got the little facial.
You're a
going.
little angry sometimes. Nothing.
I also for sure. Yeah.
But I never thought about that until
Brian
someone
Fantana.
tweeted it this season. I think it was week 1. They were like, "Oh my gosh, is that the cast of Anchorman?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, we are."
It's a good point.
It's pretty close.
Yeah, it is.
But anyway, no, I mean, but it does kind of kind of sucks, man. It's we're cooped up in studio. It's we don't really get and then of course you get you get a hard time when you when you're back on the ground with your boys.
I think it's superstar.
Oh yeah.
I get called television's
how nice
Greg
of you to
Tepper
join
by people.
us.
By you
a
lot. And it's just
it's television's Greg Tepper.
Exactly. That's not
so
what.
Wait, he stole that from you?
Yeah.
Because he does that on our Friday show. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not what it
television's Greg Tepper.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So all right. So we are here to do college football picks.
We're only
with Erin
7.5 minutes in. You're
I know,
already
but
pushing
we gotta get 5
Sports.
games. We got 5 games to get to, and here's the thing.
Well,
Erin is an actual.
Here's the thing. I tried being nice, bringing gifts, and he spills my coffee.
Yeah.
It's a really
still
good.
And now
stuck on
he's
that.
rushing you out the door.
I know.
I am. I got to keep us on
Dick.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, dude.
Can we cuss? Oh my God, we
dude,
can cuss on
we
the
have.
show.
Oh, yeah.
No, we have clean lyrics on our iTunes page, so don't cuss that much.
Oh, okay, so we got to do the
So don't say the F or the S words, otherwise you'll be fine.
Correct.
So this is going to turn into
I
an
have
Eminem
said
song.
damn so many times on this show.
I know, and that's fine.
I've
but
said ass a lot.
You have.
Yeah.
I was afraid to say sucks, but now that I know the door's wide open.
you're fine.
Oh my God, guys, you've just opened the door. All right, so we've had, but here's the thing, Max, is that she's going to have actual football analysis because she's an actual football intelligent person. Like when we've had other people on the show, Greg Howard, for example,
Right.
a couple years ago or a couple weeks ago from New York Times, he freely admits to me, he's like, I'm the worst person to do this, and of course he goes 5-0 with his picks, right?
I didn't see. How did Adelson do?
Eric Adelson. Let's go to the standings.
Actual Yahoo Sports football reporter.
Leading the way, Greg Howard in week 4 of the New York Times went 5-0. Jeff Pearlman, noted author, went 4-1. SB Nation's Bill Conley went 3-2. Another actual football mind.
Analyst.
Eric Adelson from Yahoo Sports also went 3-2, and internet sorcerer Lana Berry pulling up the rear.
He was pretty sure. Adelson was pretty sure because he picked South Carolina to beat A&M. Which we told him not to do that, but he did it anyway.
Thing, I have to talk football so much that I like to not talk football when I'm supposed to. For instance, at Big 12 Media Days, I was like, hey, why don't we get the coaches to sit down with me and talk everything but the upcoming season, right?
Talk
sure.
like Mexican food and stuff.
Yeah. Bob
Talk about
Stoops
Matt
being
Campbell's
good at,
favorite kind of white
bocce
bread.
right?
We
talked about
he's a bunny bread guy.
Okay, I got
someone from Ames called me yesterday, by the way, and didn't leave a message. I was like,
it's Matt Campbell.
Campbell's had
Frank
enough
Cullen.
of me slandering the team.
No, you're getting
you're
getting the call to be the defensive backs coach.
Oh God.
I knew Matt had a sly side. He's prank calling already.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's get.
Also, Vance Bedford as a cat. That might explain everything this season.
He talks about that cat a lot.
Yeah, it's a little weird. That might explain why
maybe
their
less
defense
time with the
is
cat, more
sucking
time on the
this year.
defense.
So it's kind of like Mike Trout. to bring this back to another sports point, like Mike Trout, the only thing that we know about Mike Trout is that he's really good at sports, right?
Loves the weather.
And he loves the weather. Those are the two things, the only two things we know about.
He tweets a ton about the weather.
He's super private elsewhere. Yeah. Like, the only thing he's willing to do interviews about is, like, that's not baseball, is, like, his love of the weather.
So, like he wants to be the next Jim Cantor.
For sure. Yeah. Like, he tweets at Jim Cantor.
Oh, that's awesome.
And at some point, like, some reporter noticed, and they were like, hey, Mike, what's the deal with all the tweeting about the weather? And he's just like, I don't know. I like the weather, I guess.
The weather's cool.
See,
that was literally his whole answer.
See, and if we ever get Trout in here, talk to him about anything but like we're talking
foregone
weather.
Conclusion that he'll be in here, I'm sure.
Of course. All right, let's get to the college football picks with Fox Sports Southwest's Erin Hartigan. The number to beat to avoid. The number to beat, you got to go 5-0 to. Oh, actually, you know what? I do want to look up one more thing. The number to beat to get to the top, you got to go 5-0. The number to avoid the bottom is you've got to get at least 2 out of 5 right. That's
easy enough.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to look up this first thing.
Someone plays Kansas this week,
so we're going to start. We're going to start. You are
That's where we're starting.
And I love David Beatty and Kenny Perry. And once they get their guys in there, I'm telling you, listen. They are, and you know them. They are 2 of the best recruiters in the state of Texas. Most connected, most loved. Once they get their guys in there,
I know. Hey, I agree. Listen, as a Missouri alum,
we're not happy about it.
Hey, trust me, Kenny's had better like Arlington Bowie programs than what he's coaching at Kansas.
I've said many times that it bothers me how much I like their coaches.
Yeah. Yes,
because it's Kansas.
2 of the world's biggest Kansas haters,
and and I want them to fail at everything, but I love their coaches so much. It's very hard.
Seriously though, Kenny's had better Arlington Bowie programs than what he's coaching in the Big 12.
You are a proud West Texas A&M Buffalo. You bring it up anytime you can. Lady Buff. Oh, Lady Buff. Might be.
By the way,
she played softball.
By the way, we had another. And Kat Osterman and Texas State are actually playing them soon enough. Also, Britton Golden. I don't know if you watched like the NFL game last night because there was baseball on. But Britton Golden, another alum. Mm-hmm. I'm just throwing this out there because you know.
So let's talk about the Buffs. They will welcome in Texas A&M Kingsville on. This is the bonus pick. Texas A&M Kingsville.
I was not aware of this, so there's no graphic.
There's no graphic. Yeah. I know. I just came up with it. West Texas A&M.
So bad. You should have a Pelicans mug
and
right now.
A&M Kingsville.
No,
who you taking?
The Liverpool mug is fine.
Oh God.
That is pretty cool though.
West Texas A&M and A&M Kingsville.
West Texas A&M over everything.
All right, there you go.
WT over everything. Okay.
I'm so disappointed that we don't do Mizzou and Apple.
Wait, is it in Canyon? Is it in Canyon?
Yeah, it's in Canyon.
Yes. Oh yeah. Okay. Game over.
All right.
Kingsville is beautiful.
We will start. Speaking of David Beatty and those Kansas Jayhawks, they welcome in the TCU Horned Frogs.
This is my confidence pick in the DCTF Fantasy League.
You were locked and loaded with this one. What do you think, TCU at Kansas?
TCU's pretty fired up following last week's loss, and they're playing Kansas. TCU.
All right, TCU is the pick. There we
go.
Go.
To backfire.
We don't really.
Also,
wait, timeout.
Oh, just because I don't trust. I mean, like, these are the things you're like, oh, yeah, TCU will go and just murder them, and then they won't, right? Like, they'll struggle for 3 quarters and win by, like, 6 points.
I'm not saying it's going to be a bludgeoning. I'm not saying it's going to be.
That's the point.
It should be.
It
won't, though. They'll squeak by Kansas, but it's
Speaking of the state of Kansas, in Manhattan, a decidedly much better place than Lawrence. I think we're all in agreement.
Well, Lawrence is a hellhole.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kansas State welcomes in the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Texas Tech Red Raiders. This game is at 6 o'clock Saturday night
maybe with Mahomes, maybe not.
Maybe with Mahomes, maybe
either
with
way. Texas Tech is like a one-legged duck at this point, and Bill Snyder and company always get someone. Every year they get someone at home.
Doesn't Vegas agree with her right now?
Kansas State's a 7.5-point favorite. Are you?
I'm just saying, Bill Snyder in Bill Snyder Family Stadium, which is like kind of weird. Like, isn't it kind of weird that you have a stadium already named after you?
Let's go to the Me. You know?
Yeah. Like let's go to the Me Family Stadium. That's kind of cool.
Like, what if they named the West Texas A&M softball field after you? Awesome. Then you're like, hey,
probably have to go take a selfie in front of it, right?
We would absolutely.
I mean, that'd be in order first.
Kansas State and Texas Tech.
Kansas State.
Okay,
no doubt.
Taking Kansas State.
Kansas State. Bill Snyder. They always get someone at home once a year, and it's going to be Tech this year.
11 a.m. at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas.
Oh, boy.
I don't know if
you know. We were gonna put this one off.
I don't know if you know this game's happening, but
is it classified as a game or?
Greg has put this as number 3 on the list, which I think says a lot.
Number 20 Oklahoma takes on.
Classifies this as a game. I mean, I don't
know. Number
we
20 Oklahoma takes on their arch rival, the Texas Longhorns in the Red River Showdown. The AT&T Red River Showdown. I think my boss wants me to say that. So, who you take with us?
You know, we've been doing so much like Red River coverage this week on Fox Sports Southwest. You can find it tonight, beginning at 8 p.m. Central Time.
Oh, boy.
But we've been doing so much of it that I'm like already over this game. That said,
I think everyone is.
That said, I thought it was awesome yesterday. We had Boz and Vince in the studio. You know, they were talking of course I have to ask him, like, who wins Saturday and why. And Boz takes OU. Vince kind of feels he has to take Texas is kind of how I read the situation. He met Camera 3.
He met Camera 3.
He had the viewing audience meet him at
Camera 3.
He pulled a Tepper. He pulled a Greg Tepper.
Yeah.
And I made sure to note that. He didn't know who you were, but I made sure to note
That's
that
fine.
like you're our
Wait, Vince didn't know who. For literally
He didn't know who the heck I was. I walked in and my
episodes, we've been asking him to come get his Player of the Year trophy.
Hey,
Every episode ends with.
I say this, but I gotta like loop myself in there. I come in, my hair's a mess, my makeup's ever. I'm like, hey, I get to do TV with you guys, and they're like, oh my god, they're terrified. So anyway, he looks at the camera and he basically calls out the defense. He's like, Longhorn Nation, your defense sucks, and it's something that he can't say on Longhorn Network. So I kind of like the Vince away from Longhorn Network because you get like
unfiltered.
You get like the realness, right? Like he keeps it 100. And so anyway, I don't think okay.
So the pick.
So he doesn't really. I don't think he really believes in the Longhorns. They got to figure that out. You may be starting on the defensive side for Texas, so I'm going to Oklahoma.
Wow. Well, yeah, if I were starting, they'd win, but okay.
You and Malik.
Yeah, me and Malik. Me and my boy Malik. Meanwhile, the number 6 Houston Cougars, 2 o'clock Saturday, they travel to Annapolis, Maryland to take on the Navy Midshipmen. Who you taking? Houston and Navy.
Houston will be unbeaten going into that Louisville game, and it's in Houston. Do we remember? Do we know the date? They're going to be unbeaten though going into that one.
It's a ways.
That is going to be a knockdown dragout, man. I can't wait for that one.
It's going to be, as they say, lit, fam. And finally, the big game down in College Station, 2:30 p.m. Saturday. The number 8 Texas A&M Aggies, hullabaloo, connect. They welcome in the number 9 Tennessee Volunteers. Erin Hartigan of Fox Sports Southwest, your expert prediction.
Josh Dobbs is so overrated. So is Tennessee, and the four-letter network has tried way too hard
like
to make them be something they aren't.
Network.
A&M, and I hate saying that because my significant other is like born and raised
Employed.
Texas fan, so he's like hopefully not ever gonna watch this. But but seriously, like, how long are we gonna continue to make Tennessee out to be something they?
No,
aren't?
I totally
right.
Listen.
It's like she listened to our radio hour
right
on
after
Monday when I went on
right
the same
after this
rant.
segment.
I must have missed the part though where you mentioned that you were a New Orleans fan.
Right after this segment, we're gonna do my picks against the spread, and I'm just a little preview. I tend to support everything you just said.
Yes.
So
well, okay, and
I think we're all
should
on the...
Vince have taken offense that like there are comparisons to like Josh Dobbs being hit? Like really?
That was hilarious. But that preseason
Are you
stuff,
serious?
so stupid.
Lamar
So
Jackson
stupid.
is more Vince-like
Yeah.
than Josh Dobbs.
Josh
I'm
Dobbs
sorry.
is-
When you got to go
Josh-
into double
yeah.
OT with Appalachian State,
Yeah.
when is the four-letter network going to get it together and like stop making them out? Right?
man, just
They're not
such
good.
shade coming from.
Also,
Erin
we hope
Hartigan
Mac
of
Brown
Fox
like
Southwest.
stays for a full game this week.
She is Erin Hartigan. Follow her on Twitter at I'm Erin Hartigan. That's what you want.
Can I share a story about my Twitter handle really quick, just
By
to like
all
clear,
means.
just to like literally like
Because apparently there's multiple Erin Hartigans
clear.
out there.
We have okay. Like I need to clear this up.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna meet my camera. I don't know what number this is, but I'm meeting my camera.
Whatever camera it is, it's pointed at you.
There is another Erin Hartigan in this world
That jerk.
that is not only like living in the same world that I am, but she's also in the same business, like the same
wow.
field I am.
There's another like sportscaster, Erin Hartigan.
Even better, she writes about food for Food Network.
Oh,
Are you serious?
Good gig.
God.
Good
that's
gig.
that's
Good gig.
Like she just outdid me.
You should just
There's
offer to
another
switch.
Erin Hartigan outdoing.
You should
She
just
probably knows
this
Alton
one.
Brown, which
There's-
makes her
I'm
awesome
I'm
on this
so
show.
jealous. So she has the Twitter handle Erin Hartigan. So she stole mine, and I was like, well, I
There's
guess I'm gonna have to be
another.
like, I'm
There's
Erin
another
Hartigan. I
Greg.
don't know.
There's a couple other Greg Teppers out there. One of them is a travel agent who specializes in like tours of Russia and Eastern Europe, and then the other one. There's another one's like a bodybuilder.
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Yeah, and then there's me.
We actually have good stories, all three of us.
Yeah, what?
There is a Max Thompson, who is a photographer of naked ladies in Los Angeles.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
he
is at
definitely
Max Thompson
outdoing you.
_ and he has DM'd me multiple times about getting Max Thompson from me. Come on, man, just give it to me.
No.
Really?
And then I got verified, so it's like
so if
in
you
cement,
so
you'll
if you
never get it.
Really,
you
dude? Like, you're
Google
photographing like naked women.
so
Just
if you
chill out,
so if you
right?
Google image search Max Thompson,
Oh my God, you will get a lot of naked women. Yes. Yeah.
Erin Hartigan, everybody.
So just in case, like, high schoolers are trying to find Dave
Yes.
Campbell's Texas Football's Max Thompson, and then
yeah.
but yeah, like if
If you guys want to switch jobs, you're down with that.
totally. We don't even. It doesn't even have to be like we don't have to switch Twitter handles. We could just switch jobs, and I would be down for it.
I'm
But
kinda
I
with
felt
you
the
there. I
need
would
to
love
like
to do the
clear
Food
the air
Network
on
thing,
that
yeah,
because it's
sure.
not like I'm Erin Hartigan. It's like I had to put that because she already stole my handle. So
I got
All
Tepper.
right.
I squatted on that like in 2009. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
Erin Hartigan, Fox Sports Southwest. Follow her on Twitter at I'm Erin
Cheers.
Hartigan.
cheers.
Up top. Thanks,
Oh,
Sarah.
no.
Cheers.
Did I just high five you with coffee in hand and not spill it
It's
on
all
your
right.
tie?
It's in the ether. No one can see you doing
Believe
it.
it or not.
Dividing
Believe it or
line.
not. Aaron, thanks. I'll see you tonight.
Cheers.